Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront updates and some more Star Wars gaming talk. Today we've had a couple of new snippets of information from multiple insiders such as Tom Henderson and Bespin Bulletin that I wanted to piece together, as it gives us a pretty good picture of what we can expect in terms of Star Wars games for the coming 2 or 3 years, where we might actually get one new Star Wars game every 6 months roughly, which is pretty nice to hear. But before we get into the news, I wanted to give a shout out to my sponsor Elgato. They provide me with all the gear I need for my content creation, such as the microphone you're hearing right now, green screens, key lights, capture cards, stream decks, and much more. And if you guys are interested in any of their products to use in your setup, make sure to follow the link in the description below to read more about all of their stuff. But now let's get straight into it. So let's get straight into the news. First of all, Bespin Bulletin posted a brand new article on their website, and as you might remember, Bespin Bulletin has had multiple accurate stories in the past about things such as Star Wars Squadrons before that was even revealed. And in this article they go over a few updates on some of the games that have been in the talks lately. Most of the stuff is things like we've heard before, but he verifies that his sources also say that Fallen Order, the sequel, should probably be revealed at Star Wars Celebration this year and might potentially also be announced on May 4th, with then the actual trailer dropping later in May at Star Wars Celebration. But he also said that he thinks that the Fallen Order sequel will not sport the name Fallen Order, but it will be Star Wars Jedi followed by a new subtitle, so it will not be called Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 2. And it will feature returning characters from its predecessor, some with larger roles, along with exciting existing Star Wars characters that weren't featured in the first installment. At this time, I don't want to give away who those characters are, as I've been told about them since 2020, but with this game possibly not even releasing this year, I don't want to ruin any surprises this early on. I think most of this is not any big surprises, because they were pretty clear back when they announced the first game that Star Wars Jedi is kind of like the franchise and then Fallen Order was the subtitle. So although a Fallen Order 2 could probably work if it was basically right after the previous game, I think that Star Wars Jedi with another subtitle probably works just as well. And I would be surprised if we don't get Cal and the squad back. But it's also gonna be nice to see some existing Star Wars characters that wasn't featured in the first installment. I'm curious what kind of characters that could be. In the previous game we had characters such as Saw Gerrera have a not prominent part, but at least a quite big part in some of the missions. And obviously we had Darth Vader in the end as well. So I definitely think there are a lot of characters that could fit in this timeline. And I'm curious what kind of subtitle the game will have. And also if it's gonna take place right after Fallen Order 1 or if it's gonna be a bit of a gap in between. Moving on, Bespin Bulletin also said that the next Star Wars game to come out following the Fallen Order sequel is the Knights of the Old Republic remake, which is scheduled to hopefully be released in 2023. And he also confirmed that the last thing he heard on LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is that April/May is when the game is looking to release, but it's not set in stone as things are ever changing due to COVID, and they've already forced multiple delays on the Skywalker Saga due to the COVID situation. So definitely wouldn't surprise me if we're gonna get it even later in the year, and that's probably also why they haven't committed to a new date yet, as they don't want to have to do another delay, but they want to make sure that they can actually deliver the next time that they give us a date. And Bespin Bulletin has said that another Star Wars game is in the works by EA. And Tom reiterated here that it does seem like EA is working on a second Star Wars title, and that it appears to be story/single player focused, something he also tweeted last year, but I wanted to kind of reiterate on that here. And he also confirms that the dates on Jedi Fallen Order, the reveal, seems to be accurate, but that the release date of Fallen Order could be late 2022, but it could also be pushed to 2023. And when he was asked about when we can expect a reveal for the other Star Wars games, he said, "I'm not sure yet, but it looks like there's probably going to be a Star Wars title every 6 months soon." So I thought we'd wrap up the video by actually recapping the Star Wars games that we know are coming out and roughly when they could be arriving, because there's actually quite a lot of them. The first Star Wars game to be released is probably Star Wars Hunters, as it's already entered its soft launch, but is probably going to be released in the first quarter now during 2022 in all regions in the world, and hopefully on on the Switch as well. It could probably end up being a little bit later, but I think that's definitely the next Star Wars game that will be released. And then we have Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga in potentially then April, May, spring 2022. Again, it could be slightly delayed, but I think it's very likely we will see it this spring, considering how many delays they've already had to that game. Next up, we have the Fallen Order sequel, which according to all of these insiders could be released late 2022 or potentially be pushed until 2023. So that's about 6 months later. And then after that, we then allegedly have the KOTOR remake to be released in 2023, which again could then be roughly 6 months after the Fallen Order sequel. After that, it's a little bit more vague, as we don't have a lot of specifics on when the next couple of games are gonna be released, but we do have EA's story-driven Star Wars game, Ubisoft and Massive's open world Star Wars game, and of course Star Wars Eclipse. But based on what a lot of people have said about the development of Star Wars Eclipse, we probably shouldn't expect that game until 3 or 4 years from now, meaning that I think that EA's story-driven Star Wars game and Ubisoft's open world Star Wars game might be releasing a little bit sooner, as I think both EA and Ubisoft are a little bit more used to working on these type of projects and probably don't want to wait too long to release the game. So that's what we can expect for the next couple of years, and starting with Star Wars Hunters, I think we will get Star Wars games at least on an annual basis, hopefully even every 6 months, depending on how much the games get postponed and pushed due to COVID or other complications. But I would love to hear in the comments below, which Star Wars game are you most excited for out of these, I think 7 Star Wars games that we currently know about? Please let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.